Patch 8.13. Okay. Aatrox is coming out. I like that because current Aatrox is cancerous, and the new design is a lot cooler, if you ask me. So, looking forward to that. Irelia is getting a bunch of pretty good nerfs. I think it nerfs top lane the most. Basically, she just does a lot less damage per stack of her passive, which is great because she does way too much damage. I really dislike playing versus Irelia, and I heard that this is actually a pretty big nerf from a lot of people. I think people still play her because she's fun to play. She'll be like a Yasuo kind of thing, if you ask me. Kindred is getting a buff. It's kind of similar to back when she got released. She had a charge, kind of like Static Shiv or Rapid Fire Cannon that would steal health from people. And it looks like they're just putting that back with a little bit of different healing component based on her missing health. So that's interesting. They're removing this, but it's not like it's a big deal because you kite the camp anyway. I think Kindred is gonna get a lot more play recently because she just keeps getting buffed over and over again. Okay, Lucian's getting nerfs. This is good. I only say good because Lucian is really strong as a flex pick right now. The bad thing about it is he's one of the few AD like attack damage carries right now, not the hybrid Ginsu's AD carries. So nerfing him means we're gonna see, because since none of the crit AD carries are good, it's gonna be like one less AD carry, which I don't know if I like or not. I mean, these are decent nerfs. He'll probably still get played, but I don't know, like not a lot. I don't think he's a nutty flex anymore. Pyke is basically better with the damage build instead of the tank build, but most people build him damage in solo queue anyway, so I guess this is kind of a buff for solo queue and a nerf for competitive. I think this is really big for Gragas, specifically top lane Gragas, because 3 second, you usually max Q first, and then you can do your E now for lower CD on the stun. And this is just flat 5 seconds, extra 50 range. It's pretty easy harass. Sustain yourself every 5 seconds. It's pretty good. I think Gragas top might come back. J4 buff. This is actually really nice to have as a J4 player. The E change just flat at 11 seconds means you get the full extent of your EQ cooldown by level 9. Base damage doesn't mean that much, but I think this is pretty good. J4 needed a buff, but he doesn't need a big one to be meta again, so we'll see where this puts him. I think he'll get played a little more, but he won't be meta. Jinx gets buffed again. I don't think this means anything. She's the epitome of crit AD carry, and crit is trash. Callista, slight buff. I can't say this will make her good, but if you're stacking a bunch of Ren stacks, then I guess you'll do a little extra damage. Kassadin got buffed again. I think Kassadin is already pretty solid, and buffing his AP ratios will probably make him unstoppable at some point, where he's just going to keep one-shotting everybody going AP build, or like a heavy AP build. Like I guess you could rush straight up Lich Bane, or no, Roa Lich Bane, which you already do, but having increased AP ratios on everything is nuts. Orianna, 2 seconds on W. I'm not an Orianna player, but that seems really nice to me. I think Orianna is pretty solid, and this makes her even better. Don't know why they're buffing Riven. I think if you're good at Riven, she's already a problem for a lot of characters. So this just makes... And the problem I have with this buff is it's just like a frustrating buff. It's not like something, oh, if Riven does, you know, this in specific, it's a... you know, a certain kind of move or harass well should get rewarded. This is just like, yeah, you can hit her and she'll regen more HP. I think that's a stupid buff, and I mean, I don't mind the ult buff. I think the ult buff is fine, but the health regen buff is just frustrating. Tristana E. I think this is pretty good for her. Tristana is not bad, even though she's a crit 80 carry. It's just Tristana is like good tower pushing still. So, and you max E first. It's pretty good. I don't know why they're buffing Tryndamere, because they acknowledge the cancerous designs of a lot of melee carries like Aatrox. And Tryndamere is really similar to Aatrox with built-in sustain and even RNG to him. I just don't understand the logic here. Usually I don't like to insult Riot for their balancing, but I think this is just so stupid. It's like Tryndamere should be reworked at this point. Giving him buffs to where he'll eventually be viable is just going to be cancerous, because the character is inherently cancerous. Twitch got buffed, he needed it. 0.6 more on maximum damage. It's pretty good, especially at full build. He'll do a lot of damage. Camille E. This is mainly a nerf to jungle, I'd say, because Q you max. I mean, in top lane you usually max Q first. 55 damage on your rank 5e is a lot. Maybe not enough to make Camille not played, because Camille is so much fun. I love Camille, so I'll probably still play her every now and then. But 55 damage before you get your Trinity Force is pretty big, since Camille's hardly a character before Triforce in top lane. Mundo nerf, not very big. He'll still be played. Like, you can afford to lose the 20 AD on your Masochism, especially because you don't have AD ratios. That's just, you can hit people for a couple extra, like 50 extra damage every time you hit them a bunch with your E. So it's fine nerf, but he won't be bad by any means. He'll still be good, especially versus AP comps. Master E got a change to basically make him worse at the funnel comps, where he just gets gold funneled into him from mid and jungle. I think he'll still snowball like crazy, because this still does extra damage to monsters. He's fine. Master E's okay. I'm okay with Master E. And also, with the funneling comps, Nunu got nerfed to where he has to build AP to give AP. So he can't be like a walking support bot that gets 0 gold all game and have high impact, because he just gives people a bunch of AP. Like, he's super valuable even with low gold. So this nerfs that a lot, and no one builds AP Nunu. I don't think Nunu will be played in funnel comps anymore. But what people will play in funnel comps are support champions like Braum and Taric. So they're probably going to have to nerf support items if they ever want to get rid of that. An Ornn nerf, less health regen, you can deal with that, like, especially if you have Doran's shield. I think this is fine. The W, they made, it's all, honestly, like, when I play against Doran's, I don't think it's that hard to dodge his W by sidestepping. So they're kind of, but they're still making it less width. I think the length is a fine nerf, but the width, I think it might be too easy to sidestep now if you're not brain dead and you just acknowledge he uses W and you move to the left or right. I think Ornn is still fine because his biggest strength is his engage from long range, but this nerfs his lane a pretty decent amount. Singed nerf, a little less damage, a little less stats. I think Singed mains will still like him and he'll still be solid on people who are good with him, since 5 armor and MR and MS are not that big of a deal. I think the biggest change is the Time War Tonic and the early E. Like, the stats on Insanity Potion hardly matter, but Time War Tonic gave too much synergy with Singed, so he'll still be alright. Taric, little nerf for the funnel comp. Well, nerf in general, but I'm pretty sure most of it is because of how he funnels. I think he's still fine. Like, he gets a bigger armor ratio, so I think he'll still be okay. Although you don't see a lot of Taric in funnel anymore. You see a lot of Braum, and people are starting to do Rakan Zaya funnels in mid lane and all sorts of stuff. So he'll still be alright. Vladimir, small nerf. This is okay. Like, he'll still be big. Like, if he's fed, he'll still do a shit ton of damage. I don't see why people really hate Vladimir. I think Vladimir's fine, but I think he's hard to deal with for people who don't know how to, like, ward flanks and stuff. So he abuses people with bad vision. But I'm okay with them nerfing him. So you'll see a little less Vladimir, but he'll still be played a little bit in the good matchups. Zoe nerf, she needs it. I can't say this does a lot since they didn't nerf the core part of her design, which was her Q or E. She'll still be played. Ginsu's got a fatty nerf, so anybody who builds Ginsu's will be a lot worse, meaning Kayle, meaning Varus, meaning Kai'Sa, Kog'Maw. I guess Jax, even though Jax only goes this if he's really fed, so pretty big nerf. And I'm kind of glad that this is here because Kayle funnel has been happening a lot recently, and Kayle uses Ginsu's really well, so maybe I won't have to see that in my competitive games after all. A little bit of buffs to the runes, 1 extra AD, 1 extra AP. Hail Blades buff again. Still not sure who you'd use it on. Maybe Rek'Sai, maybe Bard. I just don't know. Unsealed Spellbook got a buff. It'll still be trash. Early game Snowball got changed. Basically, if you die early, you spawn earlier. Overall death timers got reduced, and then post level 8 it's the same. That makes it so if you get ganked, let's say you get ganked and you TP back, and you get ganked again and die, you're not gonna sit an extra 5 seconds in death recap or in your death screen, which is pretty helpful because that 5 seconds can be the difference between a wave or your turret going down. They're increasing the bounties, which is kind of crazy because I feel like you're already getting so much gold for bounties. Now you're gonna get 300 gold with 3 kills. Like, that's a pretty sizable bounty. At 500 gold for 6, pretty nutty. I guess that means you need to play safer when you're ahead, which I guess rewards smarter play. And that is it. That's all that's important. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.